Today we're going to take a look at Tweed Stitch, which is a color knitting pattern that uses a technique commonly referred to as mosaic knitting, using slip stitches. It's pretty easy, and I'm going to show you how to work this Tweed Stitch step by step right now. So here I've got a little swatch already begun, and I've got a garter border on each side, and you can see the pattern forming in the middle here. So I'm going to begin with row 1. Row 1 is in the dark gray color, which is my color A, and the first 6 stitches are just knit. So knitting 6 K6 with color A. 4, 5, 6. Now the next instruction is SL1YB, which is slip 1 with yarn in back. So my yarn is held in the back here, just like when I'm knitting, and I'm going to slip the next stitch purlwise, as if to purl, inserting my needle from right to left. So all the stitches here are going to be slipped purlwise, otherwise this stitch will end up being twisted. So after I slip 1 with yarn in back, then I knit 3, just leaving that slipped stitch unworked, and then repeat that to the end. So the repeat is slip 1 with yarn in back, purlwise, knit 3. And I repeat that to the last 3 stitches, and then I'm just going to knit those 3 stitches, and that gives me a nice neat border. Now I'm going to turn my work to work row 2. So that was the right side. And this is the wrong side. You can see it looks a little different here. Now I'm going to use this same color again, color A. I'm going to knit 6, just like I began the last one. So with this mosaic knitting technique, I'm using just 1 color per row, which makes it pretty nice and easy. There's my 5, 6. Now I'm going to slip this stitch again. This is where my repeat begins, but this time I'm going to keep my yarn in the front of the work. So I'm going to bring that yarn to the front, slip it as if to purl, and then I need to knit 3. So now I need to move the yarn to the back again to knit my next 3 stitches. And that's my repeat. It's SL1YF, which is slip 1 with yarn in front. There's my yarn in front. I'm going to slip that stitch, and then K3. So move my yarn in back to knit the next 3 stitches. And then I repeat that to my last 3 stitches and knit those 3 stitches to create a nice neat border. So now I'm back to a right side row, row 3, and this is where I switch colors. Now because we're only switching colors every 2 rows, and this is essentially a garter stitch pattern, you can just carry up each color as you go. So you don't need to cut the yarn and weave in a bunch of ends at the end. If I just drop my color A and pick up my color B, it's really not very visible on the side there. So now for row 3, I'm going to knit 4. And now my repeat begins with slip 1 with yarn in back again, and then knit 3. So again, SL1YB, which is slip 1 with yarn in back, knit 3. And I just repeat that. This time to my last, knit. Repeat that to last 5 stitches. Then I'm going to slip 1 with yarn in back, knit 4. And there's my completed row 3. Now I'm going to turn for row 4. And again, I'm using the same color, color B, which is my light gray. And I'm going to knit 4. Slip 1 with yarn in front. So I'm going to bring the yarn to the front. And it's easy to tell when you're coming on these wrong side rows, it's easy to tell which stitch you need to slip because it's the contrast color. So now I have my yarn in front, I'm going to slip that purlwise, bring my yarn to back, and knit 3. Now I can see my contrast color is coming up. I know I need to bring my yarn to front. So on the wrong side rows, you're slipping with yarn in front, and on the right side rows, you're slipping with yarn in back. So you just have to remember to move your yarn to the back again when you're going to do those knit stitches. So I'm repeating that to the last 5 stitches. Slip 1 with yarn in front, move my yarn to back, and finish off with a knit 4. And that is all there is to it. It's just a 4-row repeat, and you're switching colors every 2 rows. And you can make this great little pattern here, or I'll show you on the big swatch. That's essentially garter stitch, and it's really simple to work. You don't need to do carrying floats across like in Fair Isle or working with multiple balls of yarn like in intarsia knitting. It's a really simple and effective way to get color work into your knitting. And that's it for Tweed Stitch.